Welcome, fellow creators, storytellers, and dreamers, to a journey into the heart of some of the most emotionally resonant films ever made. From Toy Story to Inside Out, Pixar movies aren't just animated. They're meticulously engineered emotional experiences, packed with invisible rules that guide every laugh, tear, and gasp. In this series, we'll uncover the hidden blueprint behind Pixar's storytelling magic. The structures, the character secrets, the iterative processes, and the emotional engines that make audiences connect so deeply. Each episode will pull back the curtain on a different aspect of Pixar's craft, giving you not just insight, but actionable techniques you can use in your own videos, stories, or creative projects. We'll start with the fundamentals. Why character effort beats victory, how the story spine shapes narrative arcs, and why editors are the unsung heroes of every Pixar film. Then we'll dive deeper into emotional cores, creative iteration, and those little tricks that make audiences cry, laugh, and root for every protagonist. So buckle up. By the end of this series, you won't just watch Pixar films, you'll understand them, break them apart, and wield their storytelling secrets to elevate your own creations. Welcome, friends of story, to a world built not of pixels or polygons, but of feelings, crafted with a precision that borders on the invisible. Every tear you've shed in a darkened theater, every laugh you've shared at an animated character's expense, has roots in a quiet code that Pixar has refined for decades. From the toy box of Toy Story to the interior landscapes of Inside Out, they are less filmmakers than engineers of emotion. Today, we open their playbook, line by line, to see how these tales are built to move us. At first glance, you might credit their magic to luminous animation or impeccable voice casting. Yet their secret lies deeper. For Pixar, story is a living creature, fed, tested, broken, and healed until it breathes on its own. Every character beat, every gag, every frame exists not for spectacle, but for the emotional spine. And nothing is left to chance. Scripts pass through dozens of lives, reimagined again and again until the heartbeat is unmistakable. For creators of any medium, be it a TikTok, a short film, or a podcast, these lessons form a durable compass. To study Pixar is to inherit a toolkit for making people feel, remember, and return for more. Deep Dive. 5 Story Gems. Gem 1. Admire the try, not the trophy. Pixar's heroes are rarely flawless victors. They are strugglers. Marlin, the anxious father in Finding Nemo, is not extraordinary in skill. He is extraordinary in persistence. He swims forward through failure, worry, and loss. And we watch, compelled not by his triumphs, but by his effort. The lesson is quiet yet profound. Audiences root for endurance, not for ease. Gem 2. Throw the opposite at them. Growth requires friction, and Pixar ensures their characters meet it head-on. Sully, the master scarer, is undone by Boo, a child of laughter. Carl, sealed in grief, collides with Russell, pure optimism in human form. By forcing opposites into the same frame, transformation becomes inevitable. A comfort zone is only valuable when it is shattered. Gem 3. Opinions equals agency. Passive figures vanish from memory. Pixar's characters breathe because they hold convictions. Remy, the rat who insists on cooking, is not simply chasing a dream. He is demanding recognition where none is offered. His belief fuels conflict. His choices shape destiny. To give a character opinion is to give them agency, and agency propels story. Gem 4. Stakes you can feel. Pixar does not gamble with explosions or planets at risk. Their stakes live closer to the heart. Marlin's fear of losing Nemo, Carl's promise to Ellie. The tension lies not in spectacle, but in the intimate possibility of failing someone we love. When we feel that ache, the story's gravity takes hold. Gem 5. Coincidences, in on, never out. Luck may open a door, but it never closes one. Pixar will allow coincidence to create problems, but never to erase them. Buzz Lightyear doesn't stumble into salvation by miracle. His escape is earned through choice and growth. The rule is simple. Chance can invite struggle, but only character can resolve it. The editor as story guardian. Here lies one of Pixar's quiet revolutions. In most of Hollywood, editors arrive after the fact, shaping what was filmed. At Pixar, they sit at the table from the first sketch, co-authors of rhythm and emotion. They ask again and again, does this scene make us feel, really feel? The unforgettable married life montage in Up owes its haunting power not to happy accident, but to rigorous sculpting. Beats tested, trimmed, and reordered until they broke our hearts cleanly. In this process, editors are not technicians, but guardians of the emotional spine. Climax, iteration as secret weapon. If there is one principle Pixar holds sacred, it is this: failure is not avoided, it is embraced. 100 versions of a story, 100 endings. Each broken draft is the necessary compost from which the inevitable story grows. The reason a Pixar narrative feels destined is not because it sprang forth perfect, but because it survived trial by fire, reforged until only truth remained. Application: your Pixar sprint. So how does this map onto your own work? Begin with a spine. Once upon a time, every day, one day, because of that, until finally. Build your skeleton and let it stand. Then, decide the final emotion, what your audience must feel as credits roll, and trace the path backward. Find your character's comfort zone and place its opposite directly in their way. Ask what is at stake if they fail, and who suffers for it. And finally, strip away every lucky escape. Replace each one with a choice, a sacrifice, or a skill. Do this, and you are no longer drafting in the dark. You are building with intention the way Pixar has always done. Resolution, takeaways. Remember 3 simple truths. We cheer for effort more than victory. We change when confronted with opposites, and a story finds its sharpest edge when edited toward its ending, scene by scene, moment by moment. Now your turn. Take your favorite story idea and sketch a 1-sentence story spine. Drop it in the comments below. I'll choose one and rebuild it live in a future episode, showing step by step how Pixar's invisible code can shape it. This is your invitation to make your stories feel inevitable. As our journey through the secret architecture of Pixar storytelling draws to a close, dear creators and curious minds, take a moment to breathe it all in. From the daring leaps of Marlin across the vast ocean to the meticulous edits that forged Carl and Ellie's heart-wrenching married life, we've glimpsed the invisible scaffolding that turns sketches and scripts into emotional rockets. We've unraveled the story spine, celebrated the messy glory of iteration, and discovered that the heart of every tale beats strongest when characters strive, fail, and rise again. Pixar doesn't just tell stories. They choreograph empathy, suspense, humor, and heartbreak into moments that linger long after the credits roll. And now, the stage is yours. Whether you're drafting your next YouTube epic, weaving a short story, or simply thinking about the stories you consume daily, remember, the tools are no longer secrets. Write your endings first, throw the opposites at your heroes, embrace the glorious failures, and let emotional truth be your compass. The invisible code isn't just theirs, it's yours to wield. So, fellow architects of narrative wonder, here's your challenge. Take one story, any story, and rebuild it through the lens of what you've learned. Admire the try, honor the stakes, iterate like mad, and watch ordinary ideas transform into cinematic gold. The screen is blank, the ink is yours, and the story is waiting. Until next time, keep exploring, keep experimenting, and above all, keep storytelling.